are a mother or a mother-to-be, these are the words that are probably going through your head. Now, after being told that I'm not able to conceive and finding myself blessed with my own very miraculous bundle of joy, I had to bring in fertility expert Dr. Salima Nosarka to chat to us about fertility and infertility. Good morning, Dr. Nosarka. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now, I'd like to know, what is the exact definition of infertility?
Okay, infertility is the inability to conceive after a year of unprotected intercourse. That's in a young woman. If you're older than 35, it's 6 months of trying of unprotected intercourse and not conceiving.
Okay. Now, there's a couple of old wives' tales that I came across, and it says if you dream about having a baby, you can get pregnant that month. It also says carrying something heavy can make your uterus break and not work right. I don't know how true that is. Also, if you take baby aspirin every day, you will get pregnant, and then a thin woman get pregnant easier than overweight women. And also, this myth says also only women older than 35 experience infertility. Is there any truth to any of these myths that I just mentioned?
Okay, the fact of thin women getting pregnant easier than fat women, it's just that if you're overweight, you have ovulation problems, so you won't produce an egg. Right. So in that way, that would be the cause. If you're very thin also, you don't ovulate. So you should be just at your ideal weight, but that's not always possible.
Not always,
And then the thing about older women, older than 35, that's not entirely true because we see lots of younger patients as well. I think people are becoming more aware of infertility.
True. Now, if you're taking a look at the different types of fertility methods that there are for women out there who are struggling to conceive, can you take us through a couple of those?
Okay. The first option is intrauterine insemination, where you take the sperm, it gets washed. If the sperm's not swimming very well, you inject it into the uterus. That's and then the sperm and the egg have to find each other. Okay. That's insemination. The second one would then be IVF, and this consists of a few steps. The first step is ovarian stimulation, where the patient takes medication to produce eggs. This takes from day 2 to day 12 of a cycle. The second step would then be the oocyte retrieval, where the eggs are actually taken out under anesthetic. Once the eggs get taken out, they then injected directly with the sperm, obviously in the lab under the microscope. Yeah. And then there's two types of this, IVF or ICSI. ICSI is where the sperm's actually injected under the microscope into the sperm.
Wow.
Sorry, into the egg.
Yeah.
And you need to have a very steady hand if you're doing that. Then once the fertilization has taken place, the embryo will grow to different stages to form into an 8-cell embryo. And that would be the one that we would transfer into the uterus. Which would result in a baby.
So it's quite a procedure, but it can be done, and it does offer hope for people out there as well.
It's a little bit expensive, but there are indications, but there definitely is hope.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, I had a couple of comments on Facebook and on Twitter, and this one kind of struck at me. Cassie Solomon says to Samantha Zaville, "Hey Sam, this topic could help you, Kia. Can certain foods lessen the chance of falling pregnant?" I think possibly also another old wives' tale.
I think there is a bit of truth to it, but not so much food. It's more like coffee. Coffee we don't advise. Also, no smoking, not drinking a lot of alcohol. Yeah. With food, we just say have a good diet. Multivitamins are important, especially folic acid and vitamin and iron. Yeah. The other vitamins are also important, but I think with regard to food, if you are overweight, if you are prone to diabetes, you should not have lots of carbs.
So if you are struggling to conceive, it would be a good option to start preparing your womb and preparing your body
and
by
just
actually
eat a good, healthy diet. Cut out on all the luxuries and all those kind of things.
Oh no, all the luxuries we love. And then I also received a Twitter comment as well. This from Ilse Skalton, actually quite an interesting one. She says, "How common is disappearing twin syndrome after IVF treatment?"
It is not that common with IVF treatment because with IVF we actually see how many embryos we put back. What disappearing twin is that early in the first trimester you may scan and see twins, 2 sacs, and then later on you see 1. And this normally happens when there's a genetic abnormality where the one twin just kind of disintegrates. Okay. But it's not that common anymore.
Okay. Well, Dr. Nosarka, thank you so much for joining us here on the show. And if you are struggling to conceive, there is always hope. Just always believe. And I'm sure that you'll find that you will be in the same situation as I am as well. Well, stay tuned. We're going to be back after the ad break.
Stay with Expresso and SABC3.